Hello and welcome to our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 192.
I got up very early this morning. It is a room change day for us. We've enjoyed having this deluxe suite here in the tower. It's been really cool, especially having club level access. Unfortunately, our next room will not have club level access. We still get to go all day long today to the club level lounge though. So before anyone else got up there, I wanted to get up there at 6:30 when they open and do a video tour of the club level lounge because they don't start serving food until 7. So usually there's not many guests up there before that. Thought it'd be a good time to go up and get a tour showing off the brand new lounge because this is a really cool place.
There's lots of hidden Mickeys in this room. There's the first one right there on the left. And we'll try to point out a couple more here through the lounge as we walk through because they're just kind of everywhere in this entire resort, and the lounge is no exception. One cool thing they have here in the lounge, besides a lot of couches and seating areas, is you'll notice there's a lot of games kind of scattered throughout. So there's some decks of playing cards there in that box. There's a gigantic game of Scrabble over here that is really cool. We were playing that the other day. It's pretty awesome. And they also have candies and snacks sitting out all the time.
If you'd like to see more of the lounge, I'll link the entire tour down in the description below. Now, once I was done with the tour, I just kind of got a cup of coffee and sat down and waited because I knew they were going to be bringing out all the food, and they have real breakfast here in this club level lounge. We get bacon and eggs, we get oatmeal and all the toppings, we get tons of different pastries and meats and cheeses, and out of all the things that they had today, a lot of them were the same, but they had one thing that was very different and I absolutely loved it. It was the chocolate chunk banana bread. Oh my goodness, these were incredible. Way better than we expected. And after I had one of those along with my food, I took one back to the room for Alyssa because she was still getting ready, and she tried it and was like, yeah, we're gonna need to have more of that because that was really good.
This banana bread is seriously so amazing. It's so moist. Lots of chocolate chunks inside of it. It was delicious. I was so sad that they didn't have it the other days, but I'm also really glad that we did have it today since it is our last day here.
And just so you don't get super disappointed, if you book a club level room at Coronado Springs, as of now, they do not have the banana bread anywhere at Coronado Springs, but you can still get it if you go over to Riviera Resort. They have it down in Primo Piatto, which is their quick service. It's there all the time. Or if you're there during breakfast hours, they serve it up at Le Petit Cafe in the main lobby. We found that out and we're very excited that we could get this anytime because previously you could only get it club level at Coronado.
We got all packed up in the room, all of our suitcases all ready to go. Then Robert went into the lobby to get checked into our next room type. We are staying here in the tower, just going to a different room type here. As it turns out, they were able to get us into a room that was already ready, which is so nice and so convenient for us. So Robert got a cart from Bell Services, came up to the room, we put all of our luggage on the cart and headed to our brand new room, which is a King Tower room. Because we have a water view room and we are so high up in the building, our view was gorgeous. We were able to see so far out. It was amazing. I absolutely love this view. Of course, we took detailed pictures of the room and then did a full room tour on Facebook.
As we come into the room, here on the right, we've got one of the little benches they put in these rooms. It's great because you don't usually have a lot of seating options. Now, in this case, being a king room, we have plenty of seating options because we have a couch and a chair. But if you had the two queens, there's a little bit less options as far as the seating, so it's nice to have those. As you can see, the beds in these rooms are the platform beds. They are raised up so you can put your things underneath, which is really nice. And they do have in the bed frame the really cool little reading lights built in as well, which are very handy. So you've got the little reading lights there built into the frame. If you'd like to see that entire tour, it's linked down in the description and up there in the corner. Once we got all of our bags in there, I returned the cart down to Bell Services and headed up to the club level lounge. We were gonna get some snacks, kind of a lunchtime, light snack time there in the club lounge. But first I had to get on the phone because this morning, as we were moving into our room, we found out that they had just announced an opening date for Rise of the Resistance at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland. We found out Disney World was going to be December 5th. And then following that, January 17th in 2020, they were going to open up Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland. So we're really excited about this happening. It's going to happen in 2019, which is big because we're going to be here for it. And I've already been talking to friends throughout this whole planning of Galaxy's Edge opening up and everything. And we've already decided there's 10 of us that are going to go together. We're going to do a VIP tour when Rise of the Resistance opens. So as soon as I found out they had a date, I called in to book a VIP tour for that day. VIP tours are very expensive, but when you split them between 10 people, it's a lot more reasonable and it's an amazing experience.
It was raining pretty hard today, very dark outside, so we decided just to stay in the lounge. It's very peaceful up here. We very much enjoy it, and of course, unlimited snacks and drinks, which is really nice. So we stayed up there snacking. I worked on a massive blog post for our website all about the tower here at Coronado Springs and reviewing Toledo that we had eaten a couple nights before. So that took a lot of time because I had all those pictures I was importing and all the writing and reviews that I was putting into it. So that's what I spent the rest of the afternoon and evening doing, and Robert continued to work. And then it was time for dinner, which we were very excited about because the light snacks are nice at lunch, but they don't fill you up. So we're always hungry at dinner time and ready to eat. They had similar items as the last few nights. Of course, the vegetables. They had all those different hors d'oeuvres that we really enjoy. Lots of breads, meats, and cheeses that they've had every single night. And tonight for the main entrees, they had lionfish nuggets. Never had that before. They were pretty good. A little odd, but I really enjoyed them.
They had another plant-based option tonight with the crab cakes that obviously aren't real crab. And I did try to go into it with an open mind and taste them and see what I thought. And I really like real crab cakes. I did not like the plant-based crab cakes at all. Thankfully, they made up for it with the shrimp paella style. This was great. Not quite as good as some of the places like Haleo, I'm sure, but for something that's essentially free there in club level, a great option. I really enjoyed it.
This had a lot of flavor. It was very filling, exactly what we wanted after having all those really light snacks all afternoon. This was a really nice heavy meal to have. After we finished dinner, we headed back to our room just to chill for a little bit, and we were just waiting for desserts, honestly, is what we were waiting around for. And we ended up seeing the most amazing sunset. The rain had stopped and it was just these beautiful clouds. We could see so far out across the resort. It was amazing. Definitely worth being there to see. We headed back up to the lounge, of course, very excited to see what they have for dessert. And we were very excited for about half a second when we saw the sign that said they had the Mickey Mouse again. But it wasn't the same thing. It's not Mickey, and I mean, it is mousse, but these were just the mousse tarts, the strawberry and the chocolate, but not in the same shell. So it's not a Mickey shape and it's not a chocolate shell. These were good, but after having the actual Mickey Mouse tarts last night, these were not nearly as good as the other ones.
I love that I've got you saying Mickey Mouse now. See, it needs to be a thing. I'm telling you, that's what they should have named it to begin with. They also had the other things like they had the other night, the candy and all the little truffles that they had and the little macaroons. All that stuff was still there. And they had out their big box of assorted cookies that they've had out off and on throughout the day with tons of different options of cookies there. So we just got some snacks, sat up there in the club level lounge, enjoyed our last night in club level. And of course, I had to get myself a cup of coffee out of that fancy coffee machine before we left, just for one final cup, because after tonight we don't have access to this lounge anymore. Once we were done, we headed back down to our room, and that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
for our Year with the Ears.